Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and it's match day 20 in the English Premier League. We are halfway there, and it's the new year. It is going to be quite an interesting set of games this weekend. The table is looking so good from the top right up until the bottom. The relegation, the European places, the Champions League final, and for the title, you really can't predict anything at the moment, and that is why we love this game. That is why we love this league. So let's go ahead and make our predictions for the weekend. The first game, it is Tottenham Hotspur versus Newcastle United. It is 11th versus 5th. It is going to be one of in my opinion, it could turn out to be one of the most exciting games of the weekend all over Europe. Spurs, they love doing what they are doing. I think it will be quite a good game of football, if I'm being very honest with you. Spurs have not been in a really good form. They have won once in their last 4 games. They're playing against a Newcastle side who, if I'm being very honest, they are having a tremendous time of the season, winning their last 4 games in a row. They have really picked up momentum when you really need it, and fighting for those Champions League places. They have quite an edge over most of the other teams that they are fighting, because they don't have Europe. And the way that Spurs are playing and the way the manager is under pressure, I'm quite surprised, to be very honest with you, that he's still not sacked. I really thought that they were going to sack him, especially after what has happened over the Christmas period, but he's still here, and Postecoglou is still here. But I think it is going to be another bad day at the office for Ange and his Spurs side, because of the way that they play and the way that Newcastle are playing. I think we are going to get goals in this one, and I think they are going to be goals for Newcastle. I'm going for a 3-1 win for the away side. Up next is Bournemouth versus Everton. It is 7th versus 16th. Now, Bournemouth are undefeated in their last 5 games, but 3 of them have been draws. And if they really want to get into those European places, they need to win games, and they need to win games like this. They are playing against an Everton side who have been quite tough over the last weekends to break down. I think it will be quite a tough game, if I'm being very honest with you. Everton, they have been quite a trouble for a majority of the teams, and they are starting to get into those. Into the rhythm coming into the end of the season, which they have for the last couple of seasons, where they start showing their resilience. But Bournemouth being home, they would try fancy themselves, and I think I am going with that. I think it will be a very close game, but I think somehow Bournemouth are going to break Everton down, and I think they are going to get the job done. I'm going for a very close, very hard fought 1-0 win for Bournemouth. Up next is Aston Villa versus Leicester City. It is 9th versus 19th. Aston Villa have been really good this season. They drew their last game. That has put them 9th. They were like 5th before the game, so that shows how tight it is for those European places. So many teams fighting it out, playing against a 19th place Leicester City. It is not working for them, if I'm being very honest with you. This already sacked Steve Cooper. They have brought in Ruud van Nistelrooy, and I get what he's trying to do. I think he is the right guy for the job, but they need to be patient with him. They need to win the games against the team that are around them. I think that is going to be the main aim for Leicester City. Unfortunately for them, I don't think they are going to get anything out of this their game against Villa. I think it's going to be a good game of football, but I don't think they are going to get anything. They're going to be goals as well. I'm going for a 3-1 win or a 3-2 win. It could be as well, but I would go for a 3-1 win for Aston Villa. Then it's Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. It is 15th versus 4th. Now, Crystal Palace, over the last month or so, they've started to get the points. They're just 1 defeat in their last 5 games, 2 wins, 2 draws. They are doing quite good. They are starting to get away from that bottom 3 and trying to get more points to create a gap between them and those relegation teams. Playing against the Chelsea side who have not playing that good for the last 3 or 4 games, and they have lost their last 2 games. And I think this could be another one of those games where they go ahead and top the points, if I'm being very honest with you. The way that they played against Ipswich was quite shocking, to be very honest with you. I really did not think that was going to happen, but I think this could be another game where they could go ahead and top the points. It is a London derby as well. Going away to Selhurst Park is never easy, and it's going to be under lights as well. I think it will be a draw. It will be a goal draw as well. I think it will be an entertaining game, but we're not going to get a winner. I'm going for a 2-all draw between Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Up next, we have Southampton versus Brentford. It is 28th versus 12th. Sorry about that. Southampton, they have been dreadful this season. Just 1 win in their 19 games. They are right at the bottom of the table, playing against a Brentford side who unfortunately are not going through a good run. They've lost 3 of their last 5 games. They lost over the weekend, on the New Year's Day to Arsenal as well. I think it will be quite a close game, but I think this is one of those games where if you're a Southampton fan, you would think that if we have to survive in the Premier League, we need to win this. And if you're a Brentford fan, you're looking at this game, and if you really want to go ahead and qualify for those European, qualify for Europe, we have to win this game. I think it will be quite a fun game, but I think Brentford are gonna come out of it quite easily, and with a win, I'm going for a 3-0 win for Brentford. It's Manchester City versus West Ham United. Next, it's 6 versus 13. Now, Manchester City finally won. Last time out, it was an important win for them. They needed to win that game, so they would hope that they can, continue that momentum. They somehow start getting those wins. They are playing at the Etihad, so they would feel much better. They are playing against a West Ham side who have been very hard to predict. If I'm being very honest with you. I'm ill. I'm really ill. Sorry about that. The West Ham side, I was saying they are really, really hard to predict. If I'm being very honest, like they could be really, really good one weekend, and then the next day they would be absolutely disaster. And I think this could be one game where they go ahead and they shock Manchester City. I really, really do. I think it will be a very tight game, very tough game. I don't think West Ham are going to defeat Manchester City, but I don't think City are going to win as well. I'm going for a draw, and I'm going for an entertaining draw. I'm going for a 2-all draw between Manchester City and West Ham. Up next, it's Brighton versus Arsenal. It is a 10th versus a 2nd. Now, Brighton, they are, they are sort of undefeated. I would say they the last 5 games, 4 of them have been draws and just one. They are winless in their last 5 games. Let's be very honest. They are playing good football, but they have sort of dropped. Like when they have not really been able to defend. To be very honest with you, Brighton, that has been their problem. And I think it is going to continue in this game. They are playing against an Arsenal side who are undefeated themselves in the last 5 games, 3 wins in a row, and they're sort of starting to come back into rhythm, that everybody hoped that they were going to be this season. And they know how important this game is. They are going to play before Liverpool play, so they would want to win and put pressure on Liverpool. They are 6 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand. If Arsenal win this game, they are going to put pressure on Liverpool. So that is going to be very, very important for them. Brighton, they are really good. They are at home as well, but I just think because of how they are playing over the number of weeks, as I said, no win in their last 5 games, just 4 draws. I think Arsenal, and the way that Arsenal are playing, they have their confidence back. The game against Brentford, the 3 goal scorers were Jesus, Martinelli, and Moreno. All 3 scorers, the 3 players who have not scored before, who have not playing that good. Jesus is finally finding form, so it's really good for Arsenal. And I think Arsenal are going to go ahead and do the job. I don't think it will be an easy game, but I see sort of a similar game to Brentford, where the home side is going to be starting who's going to start the game really good. But I think Arsenal are going to finish the game quite well, and I'm going for the similar scoreline as they defeated Brentford with. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Up next is Fulham versus Ipswich. It is 8th versus 18th. Now Fulham have been really good over the last number of weeks. They are really fighting for those European places. If I'm being very honest with you, with all the teams around them, I think they have the easiest fixtures of them all. Playing against Ipswich, they are 18th in the table. They won against Chelsea last time out. It was a big win for them. But I think this time around it is not going to happen. They defeated one of the London team, but they were home. I think that I don't think they are going to be able to do it against Marco Silva's side. I think Fulham are going to go ahead and get the job done, and I will not be surprised that if they finish the weekend in those European places. I think it will be a comfortable win for Fulham. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Fulham. Then it's Liverpool versus Manchester United. Now it is one of the biggest game in world football. But I think if you are a United fan, you are dreading this. This could go either 2 ways. The first way is Manchester United come out and they shock everybody and they stun everybody, and they go ahead and they get the job done against Liverpool. They defeat them like 1-0 or 2-1. It could go like this way, or it could be the other way around. Like if I am a United fan, I would be really, really scared the way that Liverpool are playing. And I'm saying this as an Arsenal fan, I would love nothing but United to go ahead and shock everybody and do the upset. But I don't think it is going to happen. I think it would be a long night. It could be a repeat of a 7-0. If I'm being very honest with you, I really think it could happen, and I think it could be worse than that. If I'm being very honest with you, I think that it could go into double digits the way that United are playing and the way that Liverpool are playing. They know they are there for the taking. It is an at Anfield as well. It is going to be a bad day at office, but I'm gonna go. I'm trying to be as respectful to Manchester United as possible, but I don't think this is gonna be a good day. I'm going for a 5-0 win for Liverpool, and I will not be surprised if it is 8 or 9 or 10. I'm being very honest, but I'm going to stay a little bit humble. I'm going for a 5-0 win for Liverpool. And finally, it's Wolves versus Nottingham Forest. It's 18th versus 3rd. Wolves have been playing really good football for the last 2-3 weeks. They've won twice and they've drawn as well. So they are in a good bit of momentum, and they are hoping to get away from those relegation. They are 17. They are not in the bottom 3, but they would like to be as far away from them as possible. But they are playing against the Nottingham Forest side, who are having the season of their life. They are 3rd in the table. They've won their last 6 games in a row, and they know how they are living in dreamland. They really think they can qualify for those Champions League places. I was seeing a lot of the pundits and on the TV and everything, when they were asked the top 4, almost everybody said that Nottingham Forest are not going to be there. They are going to falter away at the end of the season. I really don't think it is going to happen. I think they have a really good chance, and I think they are going to win this game as well. And Nottingham Forest, the only good thing a team at the moment in that top 10 are playing with nothing to lose is Forest. Like, nobody would be mad if they don't finish in the Champions League or Europa League or whatever, because nobody thought they were going to be here. So they are playing. The only team who's playing with freedom is Forest, and I think that is why they are getting these results. And I think they are going to get another one this weekend as well. It will be a close game, but I'm going for a 2-1 win for Nottingham Forest. And with that, my predictions are for Matchday 20 in the Premier League are over. We are finally starting the second half of the season. I'm really excited. As I said, it is so tight. You cannot really predict anything. You don't really know a clear way who is going to be the champions, who's going to Europe, or who is going down. So it is going to be quite an exciting weekend of football. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions. Make your predictions in the comment section below as well. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.